Hello and welcome to Sheila Lives Out Loud. My name is Sheila Mwanyega. Thanks for stopping by my channel. Please click subscribe and hit notifications so you never miss an episode. This week on My Design of a Decade, we take a tour of the striking, iconic symbol of the city of Paris, the Eiffel Tower. And that's not all. We're also going to take a boat ride on the Seine. Whether you're lucky enough to have traveled to Paris or have dreamed of going there, this beloved French landmark is known by all. In 1889, the Eiffel Tower was the main exhibit of the Exposition Universelle. It was constructed to mark 100 years of the French Revolution and also to display French industrial dominance. Work on the Eiffel Tower began in 1887 and it took 2 years, 2 months and 5 days to complete. This 7,300-ton iron structure towers over the city of Paris with views as far as the eye can see. Using one of the lifts to get to the panoramic views, the Eiffel Tower may be a treasured landmark in Paris now, but it wasn't always the case. When construction began, architects, sculptors, writers, actors, and many others sent a petition to the Paris Exposition requesting the halt of the construction of the tower, but construction carried on nonetheless. Some of the expressions used in the petition to describe the tower include, and I quote, "this truly tragic street lamp," and another, "this mast of iron gymnasium apparatus, incomplete, confused, and deformed," end of quote. And there were many other descriptions. But despite the criticism, the tower received 2 million visitors during the World's Fair of 1889 and continued to attract even more visitors over the following years. Located on the banks of the Seine, the Eiffel Tower was the world's tallest building until 1930 when the Chrysler Building was built in New York. The tower was intended to be a temporary structure which would be disassembled after 20 years, but the number of visitors kept growing and Parisians began to like the structure. The tower became even more useful as a communications tower, which helped with wireless communication in the First World War. To date, it still works as a communications tower for both radio and television stations. More than 7 million people visit the tower annually, with many taking a tour up the tower itself. It has 108 stories, and visitors may walk up the stairs to the first platform and then take lifts up to the top to view the city of Paris. Being a beautiful summer evening in Paris, it was absolutely unforgettable watching the sun set from this wrought iron lattice tower. Every evening, the Eiffel Tower comes to life with its golden covering. For 5 minutes every hour, it sparkles and a beacon shines over Paris as if some superhero were receiving a special message that all is well. A distinct landmark clearly visible from the Eiffel Tower is Basilique du Sacré-Cœur, Basilica of the Sacred Heart. It sits at the top of the Montmartre hill. This Roman Catholic basilica is the second most visited church in France after the Notre Dame Cathedral and has incredible views of Paris. The basilica attracts thousands of pilgrims from all over the world and always remains alabaster white in color because the stones used for construction release a white substance called calcite when in contact with water, thus keeping it sparkling white. The basilica is perched atop an area known to be home to many current and legendary artists such as Vincent van Gogh, Pablo Picasso, Edgar Degas, and so many more. A trip to Paris is not complete without a boat ride on the Seine. The river Seine flows through Paris, and while it's an important commercial waterway, there are lots of sightseeing tour boats that operate on the Seine, giving tourists an exciting and interesting mode of seeing some Parisian monuments over drinks, lunch, or dinner. I opted for a dinner cruise which offered a 3-course meal with lots of great French classic tunes and wine. We sailed past the French Parliament's lower house and the Notre Dame Cathedral, which is still under repair following last year's inferno. The tour is actually a loop that goes around the Statue of Liberty. That's right, the Statue of Liberty. No, not that Statue of Liberty, but another Statue of Liberty. Now, follow me on this one. In 1886, France gave the United States of America the Statue of Liberty. It was sculpted by Frederick A. Bartholdi and constructed by Gustave Eiffel, the French engineer after whom the Eiffel Tower is named. 3 years later, in 1889, the Americans gave Paris a smaller version of the same statue. It turns out that there are actually 5 Statue of Liberty replicas in Paris and a couple more across France. The boat ride is a very romantic affair, but don't let that keep you from trying it out if you're traveling solo. It was actually good fun. The boat ride does come to an end eventually, right where it starts, and that's right there by the Eiffel Tower. It's such a sight to see it, what with the lights twinkling and the beacon of light shining across the city of Paris. What a summer that was for me. I truly will never, ever forget it, and I look forward to returning to Paris someday soon. Thank you for joining me for that and joining me on this channel. The countdown to Season 8 starts soon, so be sure to catch up with me in the next upload for more information. Remember to click subscribe and hit notifications so you never miss an episode. Until then, live out loud in all that you do.